Two important pieces of legislation passed off the House floor last week, and you voted for both of them. The first one was House Bill 1258, also known as Joel's Law, which would allow family members to request court review under the state's Involuntary Treatment Act. Why is this important?
Well, it's a big issue. This measure essentially would enable family of mentally ill individuals who pose a threat to themselves or others to petition the courts for involuntary commitment. Washington is one of only 7 states that prevents family members from doing this. And so I thought it was pretty important. And the other thing too is we actually named the bill after a young man. His name is Joel Reuter, and he struggled with bipolar disorder, and he was fatally shot by police, I believe it was in 2013, just weeks after being discharged from the hospital. And so it's one of those challenges that we deal with the families on. I think our mental health system, it's got some problems. Many would say it's broken, and I believe that this is just another one of those many solutions that are needed. At its core, this issue essentially spans what I would call the mental health issue and the public safety issue, which have always been what I would deem as some of the House Republicans' budget priorities.
Now, the second measure that passed last week was the supplemental operating budget, which would be an adjustment to the 2013-2015 operating budget. This budget would help pay for additional mental health treatment capacity, some of the wildfires from last year, and also children's services. But it was also very important to the 39th District for another reason. Could you explain why?
Yeah, the supplemental budget that we just did was very small. It was only a fraction of 1% of what the entire budget is. But for me, we had the Oso landslide. 43 people in our community were killed in that landslide. And this supplemental budget, what it does is it helps with many of the entities that were involved in not only the emergency teams that were out there, but also it helps replenishes some of the expenditures that were incurred by cities, such as Darrington, Arlington. We also had expenditures from the health department, even some of our school districts in the area, our Snohomish County fire districts in that area of our legislative district. And so there were a number of expenditures that we incurred, and what this will do is this helps with some of the healing process. Oso's never going to be the same. That community is never going to be the same. There's going to be a lot of healing that's going to take place over the course of the next several years, but I believe that this influx of money into that area is going to help that process.